Well, hello. So this is guitar lesson 10, and we're going to be talking about playing in the key of D. And the good news is, you already know many of the chords for playing in the key of D. The main three chords, if you're doing an old hymn and you were thinking about a three-chord hymnal, the main three chords are going to be D, G, and A, or A7 I use most often in that. And so we'll talk about that for some clarity, and we'll kind of play around with an old song with chords and we'll learn one chord today, which is a B minor. So if we look at the key of D, that's your name, the key name. That's your main chord, and then you would switch to G. So we think of that song, some glad morning when this life is o'er. I'd go to D7, we know that chord. And then to G, I'll fly away to a home. Then I'm in D again. On God's celestial shore, there's that E minor. I'll fly away. Excuse me, that was a B minor. So, let me go through the chords and then we'll talk about how to form a B minor. So you know D, you know a D7 we covered, you know G, and then sometimes your G chord will go into an E minor on some of those songs, just like when you're playing in G, your C would go to an A minor. So that's a transposition, key transposition, what chords replace what when you're changing keys. And years ago, I put together a chart for key transposition. It works on notes and chords. And so if you're trying to figure out a song that you have the chords written down, a lot of the fake books, it's in the key of C. So but you want to use the G chords or D chord progressions, you could use that chart. And it's free. If you email me and ask for a key transposition chart, I'll certainly email you right back with that attached, and happy to do it. So we have D, D7, G, and then your third chord would be the A7. We've talked about that. If you want to play a regular A, you just add your index finger to your third string, and you could play a regular A. So you can review on how to make an A7 chord. That was under the lesson that dealt with A7 and A minor. So if I was playing my A7 with my second finger on the fourth string, second fret, and my third finger on the second string, second fret, I would take my index finger, place it on the third string, second fret. And that's an A. Some guys play their A like that or like this, but you can just do it like that, and that way you can easily go to an A7. And then you're going to have, like I said, you'll have an E minor in there at times, and then you'll have your A7, and the one you won't have is a B minor. So let's talk about that chord. It's essentially, if you know how to make your A minor, like we learned, you make it with different fingers, right? So this is an A minor, and I'm sliding it up to here, and that becomes my B minor. So let's just talk about that and how I form it. My index finger is on the first string, the second fret, and then my second finger is on the second string, third fret. Excuse me. There you go. And my third finger is on the fourth string, fourth fret. And my third finger is on the third string, my pinky. My fourth finger is on the third string, fourth fret. And that's how we make that. Go through it one more time. Index finger is on the second fret, first string. Second finger is going to be on the second string, third fret. My third finger is going to be on the fourth string, fourth fret, and my pinky is going to be on the 3rd string, 4th fret. That's my B minor. Now if I was playing that song with G chords and I had to go, I would be going to an E minor. So in this case it's a B minor, and that's part of the key transposition. So you can work on that B minor. I'll just go through that song once so we see how it's used, and I can tell if there's anything else I need to talk about. Some glad morning when this life is over, I'll fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. There's your B minor. I'll fly away. Well, I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. So that's the chord to work on this week. Next week I'm going to talk about E7 chord and also the E chord itself. And that it becomes a lead-in into your A7. So those are all essential chords if you're playing in the key of D. And then once we learn just 2 chords, you know enough to play just so many songs in the key of D. Then we'll talk about capoing our D chords and what keys they become. So until the next lesson, Lord bless you, and I hope you enjoy the process.